wonder what happens when you mix hot lava and chicken.
Minecraft in the United States in one weekend made more money than Snow White has made globally after 3 weekends.
Imagine a Disney fairy tale, one of the most iconic stories ever told, turning into a cultural firestorm before it even hits theaters. That's exactly what happened with Snow White, the 2025 live-action remake starring Rachel Zegler, a rising star, a beloved classic, and whispers of a heated clash with a Hollywood heavyweight. How did it all go so wrong? Let's dive into the drama that's got everyone talking.
Rachel Zegler then inexplicably continued to post herself in an empty theater for her own movie. She's literally the only person there. Meanwhile, the experience at Minecraft goes something like this.
Chicken
Rachel Zegler seemed like the perfect pick when Disney announced her as Snow White back in 2021. Fresh off West Side Story, her voice was pure magic, and fans were buzzing about a new take on the princess who started it all. But not everyone was thrilled. Some corners of the internet lit up with complaints, claiming Zegler, a Colombian-American actress, didn't match the skin as white as snow look from the old fairy tale. The backlash felt familiar. Think Halle Bailey as Ariel, but it was just the beginning of the storm. And Zegler, she was about to throw fuel on the fire.
The future of Hollywood is being battled out right now in theaters as 2 live-action remakes from the biggest studios in Hollywood go head-to-head. Warner Brothers' Minecraft movie versus Disney's Snow White, which in theory should be quite a battle, but it's not even a fair fight.
Fast forward to 2022, and Zegler didn't hold back. In an interview, she called the 1937 Snow White outdated, poking fun at the prince as a stalker, and saying the story needed a modern edge. Bold move, sure, but it rubbed a lot of fans the wrong way. For many, that animated classic wasn't just a movie, it was a piece of childhood. Dismissing it felt like a slap in the face, and social media erupted with accusations that Zegler was biting the hand that fed her. The outrage was loud, but something else was brewing that would make fans even angrier.
Snow White, of course, famously played by the insufferable girl boss narcissist, who's just clinical at this point, saying that audiences will always line up to see her no matter what she does.
Premiere.
Disney's big plan for Snow White wasn't just about a new face, it was a total overhaul. The 7 dwarfs? Now CGI characters, partly because actor Peter Dinklage had called the original portrayals problematic. Snow White herself, less about finding love, more about becoming a leader. The prince's role? Sliced down to almost nothing. Fans who adored the whimsy and romance of the 1937 film felt like Disney was gutting everything they loved. Whispers from early screenings only added to the unease, with complaints about a story that felt more like a lecture than a fairy tale. And behind closed doors, things were reportedly getting messy.
And everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
You know what's interesting about all this is that the only person waiting in line to see Snow White was Rachel Zegler.
When Snow White finally hit theaters in March 2025, the numbers told a brutal story. It pulled in $87 million worldwide in its opening weekend. Decent, but a far cry from the $300 million Minecraft movie raked in over the same period. Critics weren't kind either, slapping it with a 47% on Rotten Tomatoes. Audiences gave it a bit more love, but the vibe was clear. This wasn't the hit Disney expected. And then came the rumors that sent the internet into overdrive. A story about Rachel Zegler and a certain comedic legend.
Rachel Zegler then inexplicably continued to post herself in an empty theater for her own movie. She's literally the only person there. And do you not understand how humiliating this is?
Here's where things get juicy. Word started spreading that Jack Black, known for his larger-than-life roles and sharp takes on Hollywood, had some kind of run-in with Zegler. Nobody's sure if he was tied to the film or just chiming in as a fan, but the story goes that he called her out for brushing off criticism. Supposedly, he questioned why she kept doubling down, dismissing fans as haters instead of hearing them out. The confrontation, if it happened, hit Zegler hard. Some say she got emotional, overwhelmed by the pressure of carrying a Disney blockbuster while the internet tore her apart. True or not, the rumors spread like wildfire, and it wasn't the only thing fueling the chaos.
Meanwhile, the experience at Minecraft goes something like this.
Picture this, Rachel Zegler posts a photo of herself in an empty theater watching her own movie. Sounds like a quirky flex, right? Except fans pounced, turning it into a meme fest about Snow White's supposed flop. Comments flooded in, mocking the empty seats and piling on the narrative that nobody cared about the remake. Zegler's social media presence, usually full of confidence, started to look like a lightning rod for every jab and joke. The question was growing louder. Could Disney have seen this coming and done something to stop it?
And the cops had to escort the rowdy teenagers out. The Minecraft movie is doing something magical. It's creating a live audience reaction event, encouraging to see a movie that decided to do the opposite of Snow White, which is, according to all available reviews, including from the people that I trust the very most on this platform,
Disney tried to put out the fire, but it wasn't easy. The film's premiere was oddly low-key. No big red carpet, no swarm of reporters, just a handful of Disney-approved photographers. Bob Iger himself stepped in, talking up the movie's fresh take and how it spoke to a new generation. But fans weren't buying it. Posts on X called it damage control, and the scaled-back hype only made people wonder what Disney was hiding. If the movie was as great as they claimed, why all the secrecy? The answer, some argued, was in the film itself.
it is non-political. The Minecraft movie does not try to beat you and box you about the ears with the message. It is just silly fun for kids, which is what a kids movie should be. Whereas the Snow White model is the message ad infinitum, shoved directly up your ass, and most importantly, in the most insufferable possible way, like screamed at you. And so let's see how they fared against each other. The Minecraft movie breaks box office record with $300 million global opening, while woke Snow White slips again.
Test audiences had been vocal from the start, and their gripes painted a clear picture. The movie started strong. Snow White controversy explained, a complete timeline of the casting backlash, CGI dwarfs, and more. U.Cumgler's singing was a highlight, and the visuals popped. But then it stumbled. Scenes felt chopped up, like pieces of different movies stitched together. The pacing dragged in parts, rushed in others, and a heavy-handed message about empowerment overshadowed the charm. Viewers said it tried to be both a nostalgic fairy tale and a modern manifesto, but never nailed either. Even Zegler's star power couldn't mask the cracks, and the pressure wasn't just on her.
In theory, Snow White should as well. Snow White's the movie that made Disney, the studio. They should have been more cautious and careful with their own IP. The Disney Snow White, faithfully adapted, would have made $1 billion. Everyone knows this. So the film received a low score on Rotten Tomatoes, but 87% fan approval. The rankings were very similar to Snow White, which received a 40% critic score, 73% audience ranking. Yeah, right.
This wasn't just about one film. It was about Disney's whole remake machine. Hits like Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin had fans cheering, but lately, the magic's been fading. Pinocchio, Peter Pan, they've come and gone without much buzz. Snow White was supposed to be different, a return to the story that launched Disney's empire. Instead, it's become a warning sign. Fans are asking, can you keep churning out these updates without losing what made the original special? And for Zegler, the stakes are even higher. Her next move could define whether she's seen as a victim of a messy project or a star who can rise above it.
Rachel Zegler, who was cast in the title role, but some diehard fans were upset that Zegler, who identifies as Colombian American, was cast to portray the Disney princess. It got destroyed at the box office. Here's the box office numbers. The Minecraft movie made $60 million on Saturday. Snow White made $2 million.
So, what's the real story here? Snow White set out to reinvent a legend, but it ended up a battleground between fans and studios, nostalgia and progress, even between its own stars if the rumors are true. Whether Rachel Zegler clashed with Jack Black or not, the bigger clash is clear. Disney's formula might be running out of steam. As audiences, we love these stories, but we want them told with heart, not agendas. Will Disney listen, or is another remake meltdown waiting around the corner? That's the question lingering long after the credits roll.